and just checking the signal. Yes, that's good. Okay. I've only done one tour from home once before, and sometimes the signal here can be dodgy. Anyway, who's joined me this morning? I can see that I joined. I posted yesterday, for anyone who's interested, the recipe that we're using. So right at the beginning of the chat, if you want to go back and have a look at that, that's the recipe that I'm actually using today. So I will actually post an image of the method in the chat a bit later as well. Hi Tim, hi Carol Sue, hi Maple, Christine. Yeah, I hope it's fun, Christine. I hope everyone's going to enjoy it. It's certainly going to be sweet. Hi, and this is the first cooking show that I've done. Cooking show, goodness heavens. So we'll see how we go. It's a whole new experience for us all. Hi, Ken. Hi, Jess. Kari, Dahlia, Evie, Laurel. Hi, Kari. Yes, I already said hi, Kari. Ruth, Kirsty, Catherine, Lynn, Christine. Who else is here? Laurie. Yep, so I will explain exactly what a pavlova is, obviously, when we begin. I'm just wondering why my music has stopped. So yes, 2 minutes left to go, so we'll wait until start time. Does anyone want to just have a chat about anything? I don't know, ask me anything. I could even take you for a little wander through the house if you like, since we're still here. It still hasn't sold. We've added a little bit of furniture to it because it was going to cost us a lot of money for professional stylers to come in. So we went out and bought a little bit of furniture ourselves, and we'll end up using it. So let's have a little wander around the house in the 2 minutes before we start. Okay, turn the camera around. So you can see it's pretty empty. We're living quite lean, and this is the view out of our front window. It's a dull old day today, a bit cloudy in the mountains, but we've got some pretty lilies starting to come out in the front there. Here we go, next to the grevillea flowers. I think I posted a grevillea flower after my tour the other morning in the Hago chat, and that usually attracts the honey eaters like the lorikeets and the rosellas. Hi Bronwyn, hi Camille. And out the front here, right at our front entrance, is this big old Banksia tree, and it's just starting to come into flower. That's the flower, the new flower there. Hi Julianne. Oh, so Julianne's not well. Julianne's our German guide in Trier, and she had to cancel a tour this morning because she's lost her voice. So I hope you're feeling better soon, Julianne. And I would have loved to have seen your German cookies. And what else have we got? Out here, we can look out towards where the pool is. There's where our pool is. There we go. All right, so 30 seconds till we start. And this is some of the furniture that we bought because we got rid of all our old furniture. So we've got the coffee table and lounge we bought with neutral colours. Neutral colours for the styling. And this TV stand we bought. Maple, we don't get koalas in the Blue Mountains. Apparently we have the wrong type of eucalyptus tree. There is a little pocket down near where the mountains peter out and become the plains, and that's where there is a small pocket of koalas there. Let's turn this around. Okay, so good morning everybody. Hi Joy, hi Madison, and we're going to attempt to go live cooking. Now there's a new thing for me. I've kept it really, really simple. I've actually done a lot of the mixing that's got really, really noisy before we started, because the last thing you want to see is me standing there over a handheld mixer making a noise on a metal bowl for 10 minutes. But I will explain the bits that I've done already in preparation. So let's turn this around and get started. So you can see here, let me turn this around. What's the best way for me to do this? If I put it like that and then turn it around this way and put the camera down. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I should be able to see. So this is all an experiment for me as well. That way. All right, so there's the mix that I've made already. Basically what you're doing is you're using 4 egg whites. You mix them until you get to soft peaks. And then you very gradually add just a spoonful at a time of your caster sugar, which is, I don't know, do you call that something different in America? Oh, look, it's backwards. Caster sugar. Is it confectioner's sugar? Someone might be able to help me out there with what that's called. And you very gradually add that until you get to this really, really glossy, really firm and glossy stage. So what we're up to at the moment is the bit where you add a tiny bit of vinegar. And I just need to scrape down the sides in the bowl, and then we'll add a little bit of vinegar, and that's apparently to stabilize it when it goes in the oven. So what a pavlova is, it's basically just meringue. A meringue base with a topping of cream and usually fresh fruits. Just scrape that off like that. And it was named for a ballerina, a Russian ballerina who visited Australia and New Zealand in 1926. And everyone was so raptured by her performance that they created desserts that honoured her. Let me show you what Anna Pavlova, the Russian dancer, looked like. So we're going to have a little bit of noise here while I do the vinegary bit. So just hang in there, guys, while we make a lot of noise. So this is just adding the vinegar to the mix. And we'll do that for 2 minutes. So I think that'll do. And this is the bit where, you know, the kids like to lick the beaters. So I might come back to that later. So now we have our beautiful glossy meringue, and that's what we're going to make our pavlova cases with. So I just move that out of the way. And I'm just double checking and making sure that we've got everything in shot. And we'll take spoonfuls because we're making individual ones. So we just want to use about a spoonful like that. And I'm putting them onto baking paper. And that'll go into a 120-degree oven. It's been heating up to 150, but we're going to turn it down to 120 when we put it in the oven. So I'm going to do 6 on this sheet and then 6 on the other sheet. And they'll go in the oven for half an hour. It cooks really, really slowly and really gently so you don't get cracks in the cases. Just move that one out of the way. And we'll do 6 more. So who's got a sweet tooth in amongst this? I'll come back and check the chat in a minute. I'm not going to quite get 6 out of this. I must have had smaller eggs or something. Let's see how we go. Right, so there's 4, 5. I'll get, sorry, my counter's off as well. Get 1 more out of that. So let me just get these in the oven and then I can come back to the chat. What we're going to do is put a little indent into the top of them, and that's going to be so that that's where we fill it later. And these are going to be for our extended family Christmas on Sunday. So we're cooking them today, and then we'll be able to take them with us. Take them with us on Sunday. How's that looking? Can you see that? So we're making that little sort of indent on the top there. There we go. That one needs a little bit more indent. Keep sticking to the back of the spoon. Okay, so there's one. That one can go in the oven. And just turn the oven down to 120 degrees Celsius, that is. So I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, if anyone wants to help me out with that. Once I've got all these in the oven, I'll come back and give you a little bit more detail about Pavlova, where it came from, the trans-Tasman argy-bargy over who has the claim to who invented the Pavlova, because Australians and Kiwis both claim it. Okay, so there we go. There's the second batch. In the oven. Right, so that goes in for 30 minutes. Okay, let's get this up. Good question, Catherine. Because, oh, thanks, Kari, 248 degrees. So we would probably call that 250. So the next bit that I'm going to do is actually show you what we do. And here is some that I made earlier. And they've been in the freezer. I made these a couple of weeks ago and put them in the freezer. So we're going to dress them. Oh, thanks, Julianne. Let me just go back through the chat, though, and just make sure that I'm not missing something. Lynn says it's Kiwi. Whoops, what happened there? Come back, come back, come back. So what happened was that Anna Pavlova, the acclaimed ballerina, prima ballerina, came on a world tour and visited Australia and New Zealand. The story goes that a New Zealand chef, or a chef in a New Zealand hotel, more to the point, there's some speculation whether the chef was Australian. So here's where all the permutations of the story come in. But 1926, she visited both Australia and New Zealand. Australia and New Zealand both claim that they invented the Pavlova in her honour. Apparently a couple of years ago, a New Zealand food writer and an Australian food writer collaborated and tried to get to the bottom of this story. Their determination after all of that was that it had been around a lot longer than that anyway. The recipe probably came out to the colonies from America on the side of a corn flour packet, because you use corn flour in the bigger meringue, and the corn flour apparently keeps that marshmallow inside it. Oh, white vinegar. Yes, sorry. Here we go. Let me see. Here we go. Who asked about the vinegar? That's the vinegar I'm using. White wine vinegar. You can't taste the vinegar in it. Confectioner's sugar is icing sugar. Okay, so, well, this is just fine sugar. Lick the beaters. I will definitely lick the beaters later, Joy. You probably saw me lick the spoon. It's been over 45 years since I made meringue, so don't even know the type of sugar used. Okay, so sweet tooth, excellent. It's not a thing here in Canada. Okay. What I would suggest if you're going to make the meringue is have the eggs at room temperature. You don't want to be looking at my belly. Hang on, let's go up here. Have the eggs at room temperature, and it's also best to use fresh eggs if possible. And definitely don't get any of the yolk into the meringue, otherwise it won't aerate and stiffen. It'll stop it from doing what it's meant to do. So what we're going to do now is put some toppings on these beautiful meringues to turn them into Pavlova. So what I need to do first is get the cream. I'm just using dollop cream or thick, what do you call that? Cream, dollop cream, we could just call it thick cream. Some people like to sweeten their cream. I think there's enough sugar in the meringue bases that there's no need at all to sweeten the cream, but you can if you want to. You can also add yogurt to it. You can also use just regular pouring cream and whip it yourself to make the whipped cream. But I'm just using dollop cream today. So, because we've got those nice little hollows that we created, we can just pop that in there into Pavlova cases. And you can buy those Pavlova cases in all different sizes as well. So if making the cases yourself is really not your thing, there's all sorts of different sizes that you can buy from the supermarket. So all you have to do is to add the cream and the toppings. In the freezer, I believe you can freeze the cases once they're made for months. Now I need to have a think about what I'm going to do with my egg yolks later. I've got 4 egg yolks there. So if anyone's got any suggestions for what I can do with the egg yolks, please share that with me. Otherwise, I'm just looking at something like a creme brulee. I might even have a go at making Portuguese tarts. I need to actually have a look and see what I can find. But I think they can stay in the fridge with a layer of water over the top for a couple of days. And Dahlia, yes, I bet it's from Europe. In actual fact, that's what I came across as well, is that there was a creation in the 19th century that was called a Spanischer Windtorte. So Spanish wind cake or aerated cake, and apparently it was very, very popular with the Austrian Habsburgs. So although both New Zealand and Australia tries to lay claim to the Pavlova, in actual fact, it's been around in some form for quite a long time. So I'm going to add some strawberries. I'm just going to take, I know they look pretty with the green toppings, but you know, you've got to think about people are going to eat these. So I like to take the green bits off. I might quarter them. You can't see anything at the moment, can you? What have I done? I've turned the camera around. Okay, so we'll go down, so you can see. This is a whole level of expertise that I hadn't even considered in cooking from home. Moving the camera around, I've got a whole new level of respect for Jamie Oliver. Although he has people doing it for him, doesn't he? I've got some raspberries. And I've also got a whole lot of blueberries here. Now, what do you think, guys? Should I add kiwi fruit? I like my knife, my broken knife. This is one of those ceramic knives. My husband used to work with a company that makes ceramic knives, Kyocera. So he could get these at staff rates. And I think I was trying to cut a pumpkin. And that's what happened to my knife. This is my other knife. This one's lost the tip and it's got a chip halfway along it. They're still really sharp. I'm not going to throw them away. But yes, anyway, that's my knives. What was the verdict on the green and red? So shall we have some nectarine? I've got some nectarine here. I might put 1 or 2 slices of nectarine on it. What do you think? This is a very soft nectarine. I'm going to have to cut the segments away from the seed. Okay. So we've got a couple of segments of nectarine there. And all right, here's the debate part. To peel or not to peel, guys? To peel or not to peel? It looks nice with the peel on. Some people like to eat the peel. I don't have any passion fruit, Rhonda, but yes, passion fruit is great on a, I'm getting the votes to peel. Yeah, Kari says peel. Joy says peel. Everyone says peel. Okay, we'll peel. I don't need a lot. And how good's my peeling? How good's my peeling skills? I think I can manage this. It's quite a firm kiwi fruit. Might not be quite right, but I'm sure it will still be very nice. Let's go this way. So once the pavlovas have finished, half an hour in the oven, you actually have to turn the oven off and leave them in there until they cool down completely. So otherwise they crack. So that just helps them cool down. And there we go. How's that looking? I'm not very good at the whole artistic fruit thing, but there we go. What do you think? Does it need more? I don't want them to slide off the plate. And the other thing that you can also add, something that you can always pick off later if you don't want to eat it, maybe a little bit of mint. And unfortunately, we don't have any violet flowers in our garden just at the moment. I looked for those to see if we had any. How's that? Let's just tilt the camera down. Oh, no, I'm going to turn it around. This is not working. Let's turn it around this way. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. And we're done. That's it. That's how easy it was. Once you've got those cases made, there's nothing to it. So I was going to keep these until my husband got home. He's gone up the road. He's gone up the road to do some official sort of stuff. I told him to be back at 10:30 and he can have one of these and we'll have a cup of tea. Should I have a sneaky taste of one? What do you reckon? All right, okay. We're going in. We're going in just so that I can make myself look really messy and horrible. The first bite's just going to be all meringue. Absolutely, Maple. I had to share with you guys. Yeah, I like the little ones because it means that you don't have to. It gets all messy when you try and slice it. Okay, I've got to get that raspberry within. Yeah, here we go. Just do it this way. Okay, slice. So, Laurel, I just used dollop cream. That's a really nice thick cream that you might use with scones or on the side of a cheesecake or something like that. Mud cake. So there we go. That's the one that's been eaten. When he comes home, I can say, look, there you go. You got the choice of these two. Okay, all right. 1 second. You can whip cream yourself. Excuse me. So I just bought that as is and served it straight out of the container. Does it have anything added to it? Let me see. Pasteurized thick cream, ingredients fresh cream, milk thickeners, pectin. So it does have pectin in it. Sorry, and that I'll go wash my hands after that. I pulled it out of my recycling. All right, so we're just about done. Is there anything else you'd like to see while we're still on? Does what it says on the container, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Why don't I show you out the back of the house since we're all finished. That was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. So here we are. We've got this room all styled, so that when the agent brings people through, we put one of the chairs over here. I need to refresh the flowers, get some more flowers out of the backyard tomorrow got another inspection tomorrow. And the real estate market is so slow at the moment that we've had 5 inspections and only 2 people have been through the house. Yeah, Joy, this is a 7-bedroom house. There's only 2 of us. Our kids have all grown up and moved out. And the real estate market is just so dead at the moment that we're really struggling. What we did, we turned it into an option so that you could close this door here, turn that into a little living room, and we've got 3 bedrooms out the back here. So it could be 2 separate living spaces. But not getting any interest at all. It's across the whole market. It's not just our place. We look like we'll probably be moving to Newcastle, which is where my daughter has bought a house. But this is our backyard. This is the bit I'm going to miss the most, our lovely backyard. And some of our orchids are still there. They've been there for ages. Whilst people are just joining, I'm going to have to go back inside. And yes, Christine, we did think of that. Not sure that we're keen, but we have thought about doing that. It's not ideal for us to have other people, strangers living in our house with us, but it's something that we're still thinking about to set ourselves up. Your 2 nephews live in Newcastle. Erna, by the time you come out here, we might be able to actually definitely catch up then. If I'm in Mayfield. All right. Did someone ask what Airbnb is? All right, let's go back in and have a look. So I've still got 5 minutes to go. This went way too quick. I could have done loads of mixing, couldn't I? So for whoever joined and missed the demonstration, this was the end result using meringue cases that I'd made previously. And in the oven we have the ones that we put on the oven trays. And I haven't even kept an eye on the time, but I think I've probably got about 15 minutes left to go on those. And in the freezer I've got the rest of this first batch that I made a few weeks ago. What I was going to do today, though, if anyone's interested, see this little guy here? If anyone's not following me already, first of all, I'm so close to 1,000 followers, so please follow me. I want to reach that milestone before Christmas. This little guy here, I would like to send him to a follower. And I'd also love to send a Christmas card with these gorgeous stamps. Not these exact ones. I'd buy new ones. But here we go. One with a koala, one with a wombat. So what I thought was, now, I know this is a bit cheeky. It looks different from the last tour. Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly we've changed other than putting a bit more furniture in, you know. Joyce. Yeah, so we've got this table setting here that wasn't here before. What I thought I'd do, if I can get 10 tips on this tour, I know that's really cheeky, but if I can get 10 tips on this tour, I will put everyone who's tipped name in an envelope and have a draw and draw out 3 names. The first one will get the little koala and the other 2 will get a Christmas card from me with those gorgeous koala and wombat stamps. So there you go. I don't know if that's appealing at all, but there we go. There's the koala stamp. There's the wombat stamp. And here's our little mascot bear that I will ship to the first name I pull out. So we've got 2 minutes to have a think about whether I should have that drawer or not. What do you think, guys? Thanks, Maple. So please, if you have a go at this recipe, make sure you share. Linda, tour guide shouldn't move yet. I'm sorry, I missed what that was in relation to. Yeah, it's an individual thing, isn't it, Christine? Everyone has their own personal experiences when it comes to that. But I think the whole setting it up, I'd have to buy beds. I'd have to go out and buy 3 beds to set it up for an Airbnb. So that alone is a bit of an obstacle for us at the moment. Anyway. Okay, so there we go. Anyone else have any questions for me? Mariam. Hi, Mariam? You're welcome, Maple. Okay, one last shot of the Pavlovas and the washing up. Closed. For this recipe, it's closed. I think for the big base one, they suggest keeping it open. But I've been using the Donna Hay recipe and it's been working really well for me. So I just do as she tells me to do. Alrighty, I'm going to turn the camera around. This is a 30-minute tour and we're finished. So thank you everyone for joining me on my first ever cooking demonstration. It's all about experience, isn't it? Next time I'll know that I need to fill in the time with something. Maybe I should have a couple of wines along the way. All right, thanks guys. And where are we next? Next Tuesday is my next tour. We'll be catching the ferry into the city. So we'll be leaving from McMahon's Point, passing by Luna Park, under the Harbour Bridge, past the Opera House to Circular Quay, then walking up to the Botanical Gardens where there is a spectacular Christmas market with digital light shows and drone sky shows, the whole box and dice. Thank you so much, Rhonda. And for anyone who isn't already following me, if you'd like to see more of my tours, just hit that notification button up the top and you'll get notifications every time I post a new tour. Also, anything that I need to get a message out about, you'll hear about it there. All right, everyone. Thanks so much and see you again on a new tour next time around or on somebody else's tour because I do like to join other tours as well. All right. One last shot of the swimming pool. Or one last shot of the Pavlovas, maybe. Here we go. There we go. You're welcome, Leslie. Okay, bye for now.